I admit I was bored. The negotiations were the usual. Humans can do this and that, so long as they don't blow up this or that place. They may not kill so and so. In return, they are allowed all the X amount of Y they want. Blah blah blah. The air conditioning in my suit malfunctioned. And the damn thing was getting stuffy, which did not improve my mood at all. So when recess was called, I decided to step out and see Kanasi for myself. For those of you that don't know or don't care, the Condor are still very sore about our first contact. They fear us, yes, but below that layer of fear is a simmering hatred, kindled like a child has against his parents when they ground him. Anyway, I'm strolling along the city streets, the locals giving me and my bodyguard a wide berth, when I stumble upon a Cineplex. Normally I wouldn't be interested, but the title of one caught my eye. 19. First Contact. I ask the fellow at the ticket booth and he tells me that it's about when the humans first made contact with his race and the ensuing war. Which is weird because the history books don't mention much about a war. So, after he's done urinating himself, I decide to purchase a pass to watch this bit of comedy. And that was when I saw how exaggerated the stories of our race have gone. The average human movie is at most 3.5 hours long. Condor flicks last longer, and this little number was a whopping 6.7 hours. Thankfully, it was already starting, so I did not have to see the previews. The room was darkened and was relatively conditioned, so I opted to remove my helmet, something I know I should not have done, but hey, it was dark, everyone was focused on the opening parental advisory and reminder to shut off all extra source communication devices. To take more caution, I sat in the back where no one was positioned, so I believe no harm was done. It felt nice to cool down. It started as your typical film. We Xanon, that's what they call themselves, like us calling ourselves human, have always looked up for our answers. We sought life out there in the galaxy, and the very souls we reached out to, reached back to us. In time, we thrived. In time we established ourselves as a major power everywhere in the known verse. Except the veil. Then it cuts to our section of the galaxy, which of course looks nothing like it really was. It's basically hell in space, the way they portrayed it. Full of derelict ships, planets that look all funky, and suns imploding on themselves, etc. Not true at all, but real good special effects. All ventures into the veil had met with failure. All who entered it were never heard from again. It was a wasteland. Some place we knew no life could exist. It seems what we know and what the galaxy knows are two different things. Cheesy ass line. So, as we all know, the Condor were fighting the Gox Union that was aggressively expanding its borders into Allied space. And a Condor security fleet had just defeated a Gox scouting fleet. It was a nice looking battle, plenty of special effects and explosions. Then they expand beyond the battle. It was taking place at Station 19, the Veil checkpoint. One that trafficked all ships going into the Veil. Though mostly, it was to keep aliens with more balls than brains from going straight into the death trap of our home. So, the Condor are repairing themselves, yeah. And that's when they come to the main character of this story, the captain of the Convas. That's right, the very Convas the Supremacy shot down. So Captain Kossag is talking with his crew about the Gox getting more aggressive and the problems that would cause, and was debating whether or not to requisition more ships for patrol when his ensign, I think that was an ensign, I can't remember Condor human rank equivalents, pointed out they were getting a strong energy reading. I'm sure you and I both know this is bullcrap. We were running in slowly, so our energy output was minimal. They wouldn't have been able to detect the ship until it got to, well, the station. And we both know, both of us were caught with our pants down when we saw each other. But the Condors still see it in a different way. Few Condor aside from diplomats ever see a human as a human. And for reasons I still don't know, they have not disclosed our appearance to the public. And so many are still in the dark as to what we are, only having blurry Bigfoot-esque photos to go on. Whoever directed this had an interesting imagination. We are bipedal, that much they got down. But they believe we got mandibles where our cheeks should be. And that we have 3 eyes, holes underneath our arms, that sprout tentacle-like appendages for invasive procedures, as I was to learn later. And that our ships look more like a set of a horror flick than a ship. So, our ship drops into their system. And the first thing they do is pan to the humans, showing what's going on inside. Apparently on the Supreme the captain, hang on, it still makes me laugh when I think of it. Those idiots got our whole language wrong. It's like they took whatever words of our language they thought sounded coolest and mashed them together to form our language. The grammatical errors and accent are so atrocious, for a second I thought, what the fuck is he saying? So the captain says in the subtitles, interesting. Fresh meat. This will make a nice change to the usual prey. Though in our language the way he says it is, mash up, tasty food, nice kill, hunting spree. And the other human, in subtitles replies, yes over captain. Though he says, affirmative caption. No, I did not spell that wrong, that's what he or she had said. I didn't even know we had an over captain in the Navy. They seem to know our ranking system better than us. That was sarcasm in case whoever's reading this could not pick it up. Anyway, the over-captain then says, inform the lesser beings that the hunt begins. Tell bugs fight start now. Yes over-captain, affirmative caption. So, the good guy Cossack takes action and aligns the fleet in a pincer formation, preparing to fire. When the captain of the fleet, some fat guy, tells him not to fire. The two get into an argument. The captain of the fleet is obviously being made out to look like some pompous buffoon that wanted peace with a bunch of murdering baby eaters. You know, a cliché. Then the infamous transmission comes. It's staticky, but what I could make out was, it sounded like, how are you gentlemen? All your base or belong to us. Wow, déjà vu. The author's name and the link to original text is in the description.